I'm a hero, I'm for hire, I'm a seller, I'm a buyer. Conversations with me in the lounge as we scream. You know me, my Morgan, subject board, follow him. I'm the comic man. I'm the comic man.
Oh, hello. What's up, true believers? Welcome back. We're back. First episode of Comic Conversations in the new year with a brand new guest. And let me put this book back in here because I don't really feel comfortable leaving it out. Anyway, so I don't think my guest needs any introduction, but maybe for some of you, but I don't know. He shouldn't need one. He's a great guy. He agreed to this like a couple months ago. He just said, you have to remind me. So I reminded him, and here he is. It's Old Wolf 65. Welcome, Tony.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, all right.
Oh, there you go. You better believe it.
The Will is omnipresent. We were just talking to him backstage a little bit. Yeah, this show is just informal. It's not like I'm not Barbara Walters or something. So, hey, we got Missy Mars in here.
How you doing?
How you doing? Hey, buddy. Yeah, so it's kind of informal. I started out originally like I would have like a list. I'd be like, so like you did, you know, like right there, but I quit doing that because I think it's just stupid. So the kind of thing I did that I ripped off from Rob's Fat Stacks Only Slabs, and I'm a fully admit that I ripped this off. Is the first question: what is your comic book origin story?
How I started doing collecting comics?
Yeah. Did you start at a young age and then leave like a lot of us did, and then come back?
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long story. Okay, so when I was 4 years old, this was almost tragic. When I was 4 years old, I got hit by a late '60s Buick.
Damn.
And so then I ended up on the other side of the road. And on the other side of the road, there was a barber shop and a cobbler. You know what a cobbler is?
Yeah.
When people used to fix shoes.
Yeah.
So it was Dick's barber shop and Roscoe's, not to spell the same, cobbler. And they took me, they pulled me out from there. And then I became friends with Dick the barber and Roscoe the cobbler. And so I would hang out there. I mean, I was a kid, but when I learned how to cross the street correctly, I used to go hang there. And he used to have in the corner, because he used to, you know, it was a more of a long place than a wide, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't very, so on one side they had, you know, the mirrors and the seats where he worked. And then they were red upholstered leather mound.
Yeah, I remember those kind of seats. Yeah.
And on the back, he had a metal cart that had 3 levels on it on rollers. And on there, he had comics. And they were like, I was 4 years old when I got hit. So that's 69. And I left forever when I was 10. So that'd be 75. I left. So we're looking at mid to early 60s, mid to late 60s comics, maybe into 70s. And they were all like House of Mystery, House of Secrets, all that stuff. And I used to read those. And so that's where I got, right. So that's when I learned, that's why I told you I gravitate to that stuff. I like that stuff. Let's go back to the future because I didn't collect them, right? He said, hey, have a book. I have a book. And whatever happened to that book the next day, I don't know. It probably get destroyed. Who knows? Because I was a kid. So I was working in the mall later on in life. I'll tell you when it was year 1987. And I was eating lunch and I wanted something to read while I ate lunch. So I went to Walden Books. It was down where I worked because I worked at the game room. I used to make change for a living. You know, hey, give me $1, I'll give you 4 quarters. Even the back of my shirt said change. And I picked up this exact book right here. This is the book. Later on I had it signed by the artist. But this is the exact book I bought to sit down, eat lunch, and then the next day, I needed another book. Right? You eat. You need lunch. You eat lunch. I read a book yesterday. Might as well read a book today. So I picked up another. What that book was, I don't know. I have it. Don't get me wrong. I have it. It's in here someplace, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
and that started. So what it started was every day I would pick up a book, and then I would, if I had number 403, I needed 404 to figure out what was going on, and so I picked up that book. So I ended up picking every month. I was working full time, so 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I was picking a book, and then next month I would do that and that and that and that. So I ended up getting a short box, then I ended up getting a big box, and then I ended up going an LCS, and then I ended up getting a folder in there, and I got there, and then all of a sudden I got to know the people who work there. I ended up working there and to help out, put stuff in boxes, stuff like that,
board it and stuff like that. Yeah,
and I worked for credit. So I take that credit and get books. And by that time, the books were what, 75 cents?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When a book was $1, I was like, oh my God. But so I ended up getting every title. 75 cents, I get every title. So I had a ton of titles for DC, tons of titles for Marvel, and I would get every title. And so on. And now I have about 15,000 books.
Yeah, and I remember that because I remember when they were. Probably when they're a little bit cheaper than I do, but like 60 cents. I remember when they were 60 cents, like this Marvel comic here, and so that's not bad. Like you said, you can get a lot of stuff, but now you have to be more selective with it. But I remember when it went to $1, I was pissed.
Yeah, it was like. It was a Superman book because I was getting all the Superman titles. And it was a Superman book that ended up going like $1. I'm like, wow, what the hell? It's $1. Because I was getting Superman's Adventures, Action Comics.
Yeah.
So it's like I got them all. And you had to at that time because one story went into another at the time. So yeah. And that's how I started collecting. And don't get me wrong, there was times when I stopped collecting.
Yeah.
Started collecting, stopped collecting. So there are holes, but
well, and also, like, I feel like with the price thing, I hate to get stuck on this, but like, there was a time period where it went up fast. Like, there was a delay. And sometimes, like, it was 15 cents, and they went to 20 cents. But then there was like after 35 cents, they went to 50. Then it jumped to 60 almost immediately, and then went to 75.
Yeah, there was no mind or reason for it. It was just they do it.
Hey, Jack. Missy Marcy.
How you doing?
Natural ice.
As long as you're sipping.
Well, I'm sipping on some water at this point, but
I don't judge. As long as you're sipping. If you ever watch my show at any of my shows, if you want to hang out, I don't judge what you sip. As long as you're sipping.
Well, I had a problem with the alcohol a while back. I was allergic to it. I broke out in handcuffs when I drink. So I'm just kidding. Flash is like, wait, they weren't always $3 to $4?
No, they weren't. Honest to God, they were cheap. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, $1. I don't know if the dollar, whatever, what the hell it was, but it was 75 cents. I mean, the first book I bought was 75 cents.
Well,
it was
still,
less than a buck.
Yeah, even when they're $1, you can walk out of the LCS with like 20 books.
Yeah, and I was working for credit, right? So I was making multiple bucks in credit an hour. So yeah, I'll. So when the advanced comics came out, you'd like chop. So I was getting like over 100. Honest to God, I was getting way over 100 titles a month. Honest to God, I was. If you know me, I don't lie. I'll tell you straight shit. Perry, how you doing? I was getting over 100 titles a month, and because I wasn't paying for it. You know what I'm saying? I would work. I would go in there. I would even go. Diamond had a place in Rockland, Mass. I would get the books. I would load. I had a Daytona. A 1999 Daytona. And I would. It was a hatchback, and I would load that thing up from stem to stern. The passenger side seat would be full and everything. So I would load up in Rockland, Mass. Went to Diamond, loaded up, and I would drive from Rockland, Mass. to Pawtucket, Rhode Island, because the guy had 2 stores, and I would drop off the load at Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and then I would take the rest of it to Fall River, Mass. and drop off the rest. That's because the Fall River, Mass. is the one I would help out at. So I was picking up books on every week, dropping them off the whole 9 yards. So I was making bread. You know what I'm saying? But credit wise, so I would just pay it off.
Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was like I've noticed in the New England area, I watch Lunch Money Comics, and he's been a guest on the show a couple of times. Once with Cliff, and he got a lot of cool like flea markets in the New England area. It looked like. Yeah,
you can travel around and get to a lot of flea markets.
Have you ever been to a warehouse sale one time, and they had like not dollar books, they're like $2 or something. They're just pulling out like Wolverine 88 and Thundercat 1 and shit, like crazy stuff, man.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Even a little I want to say mom and pop flea market that just pops up someplace.
Yeah.
You can pick up some nice books, no problem. People, they're out there. It's just you're just gonna find them. But the thing is, I wish I had disposable cash to hit all the flea markets, because I'd be coming home with this all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really either. I bet. Well, and also it gets to I call this the Heroes Con season for me now, because I have to save. I already booked the hotel, so there's no backing out now. So right. I have to be saving for that. But like, I also I don't know. Like, I feel like where my new comics, I might have to slow down. But like, I got my pull list up till March, and I like to keep my word. I like to be one of those people who says I'm keep my word. So
yeah,
I'm going to pull those comics until I guess it'll be April, and then I'm just going to tell him like he's probably going to be sad to see me pull the pull list back, because it's dropping like $160 a month there.
Yeah, see, that's why I have been adding to my pull, but only because of my kids. My kids like certain things. Like my son likes the Turtles, so if anything pops up with the Turtles, I'll pick them up. My daughter likes Spider-Gwen, and she likes Stitch and stuff, so I'll pick up stuff. So I've been adding to my list, but for me personally, I kind of I do a lot more minis. So I get the story and it ends, or I'll pull back and not do so many long series ones, because it's money I don't have, and so but
I understand that. And it's also that's because I'm really into getting some older books now, so that's an older back issue I won't be able to afford to get if I keep getting new stuff that's probably I'm going to be worth $1 maybe most of the time.
Yeah, it's it's this. The comic is this. It's like 6, 7. That's not what I do though. But anyways, you got to balance it. So if you buy more new comics, you can't buy old comics, right? And if you buy old comics, you're saving your money, so you can't buy new comics. That's my problem. Oh, you got Matt Spidey here? Oh shit.
Yeah, he said you can go hunting for me, then Tony, for every 10 $2 books you get me, you can get one for yourself.
All right. Hey, actually send me a list of what you want. It's just going to cost me an arm and leg and a child to send it to you, but to buy the books, it's not going to cost me as much.
Well, there are ways. Like, I got him a book that he needed, and if you can just time it to when Rob's probably going to send him something, Fat Stacks, you might be able to work it out with him. So I don't know.
Oh, I can do that too. If Rob's going to send him stuff, I can always find what I have here and send it to Rob and let him worry about the postage. I can do that too.
Absolutely. So what are some of your well, we obviously know from the thumbnail, I know you like Deadman. That's why I picked this comic cover behind us. So I know you like why do you like what is it about Deadman that appealed to you?
You know something? It's going to sound okay. So so because early my first experience with comics was Supernatural, right? like I said, House of Mysteries and stuff like that. Because I love the way it was written. I mean, you got 4 stories in there, and it was drawn well. It was, like, I mean, the stuff's drawn well now, but it was more honest then. You know what I'm saying? And the story was cool. So I was always with the idea of horror or supernatural. But the idea that he's a ghost that went into other people and did stuff like that was so cool. But I also liked the outfit, because it wasn't like a normal outfit like everybody. Look at that. I mean, Elvis would be so jealous about that color. That collar. Look at that thing. That thing is starched up to past his ears. You know what I'm saying? So it just that idea, and I like that. And I also liked the idea it was not your normal superhero. I guess it was. It wasn't. What power? What superpower? He doesn't have strength. He can fly because he's a ghost. Okay, so he doesn't have strength. He can fly. He doesn't have special abilities other than he's a ghost that can go into other people. And at the time, he was trying to find out who killed him and stuff like that. And then it kept going on. But that's why I enjoyed. I latched onto him. But originally, when in between the time when I picked up my first book and to start the barbershop, kids in school would bring in their books, and it was Daredevil and the normal stuff for the 70s, and I latched onto that. So, but the supernatural was always a big deal. So I just like his character because he's not a normal superhero. He's he's got and that's what I liked about him. Plus, he's got a great haircut, and I just like it.
Well, he's kind of like what was always interesting about him and like the Phantom Stranger or the Spectre. They're your unconventional comic book character, like you said,
right? And that's why I like that. I don't like that. I mean, Phantom Stranger. When you first, I grabbed onto Phantom Stranger later on, in the 90s, and I've been working backwards. And the idea that you don't, matter of fact, I have John's friends with friends. He gave me the omnibus right there. You didn't know who he was. He was a stranger, right? He just came up. He has these abilities. He knows all this stuff. And then later on, they made a backstory for him. I love that. You didn't know who he was, and he did stuff. You know what I'm saying?
There's like an era of mystery. That's why I was always kind of interested in here, especially here lately, like the street level heroes too. Though, like I don't know, so it might be the same thing. I think I like them because they were more of a common you could just get the power and then be like, but they cared more about the street. Like that's why I like Luke Cage. Right. He was more worried about what was happening to the everyday person, like in his neighborhood, in his community, But he could fight. He would fight a Dr. Doom. But also the reason I liked the Phantom Stranger and all that was just like that, like you said, that mystery. And that's probably why I liked Constantine a lot, because his background, but like how did he get all these, like you don't really know at first how did he get all this. We find out later.
Right.
But he's able to talk to, and also you got the afterlife, like thing, and you got the supernatural part. So I always kind of gravitated to that too. Like,
but Constantine, he's not. He'll tell you to go bang off. He's like,
he'll just go fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And what he does for himself for the most part. I mean, that's what you show on top, and then later on you see under he does have a creamy filling that for other people, in his small group.
Well, that's what great writing does too, though. If you got a great writer on something,
Well, yeah.
We kind of going through this with my friend Jeff. We've been reviewing all the G.I. Joe comics. We're going to go through the series. Probably going to take us like 3 years, but you see the development of the characters. Like first of it's kind of boring because they just introduce them, right? But then you start learning, this guy was like this. This guy was in Vietnam. or something like that, you're like, okay, it's more interesting now. So like you're
Right.
saying with Constantine.
Right. Exactly.
I try to bring everything back to G.I. Joe. She has to ignore me. But
It's your show. You can go any way you want.
yeah, and like well, same thing with Claremont. Like it's more interesting when you know why Rogue or Wolverine are the way they are. So it's better when you get to know them. I don't know. This is my opinion, but so yeah. But like also I have an opinion. We were talking about like the way well they have good art now, but like we were talking about like the 70s and the 80s, early 80s. Like I mean, it's just like this hits different. You know what I mean? It just feels different.
Totally.
Of course, this is like Bernie Rice and comparing anything to like
Yes.
now. That Bernie Rice is kind of like comparing Picasso to one of us trying to draw a stick figure.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at his stuff he was doing then to what they're doing now, there's no he's up here, you know, and he was just doing it with that on paper and pen. And then you have people down here who are doing that if they're using computers or you know the stuff they're getting a little help making the thing looks great. But all he had was paper and pen, and he did all that stuff. And so there to me, there's no comparison. The artists from then and the artists from now, now is they might do great work, and I'm not saying they don't do great work. I mean, who am I, right? I'm this. But in my opinion, the guys who are doing just merely paper to pen to paper are at least one level up from people who are doing it now, because a lot of them have touch a computer, or you know, and you'll see it on paper. It's too perfect. The picture's too perfect. The cover's too perfect. The people. This is why people buy books for the cover and not for the. I do it too, and I can't say nothing. I'll buy a cover and never open the book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but when you had that book, a Ricin book, or people at that time, you bought that book to open and to enjoy it and to read it and to see the different stories in that, and the different stories had different artists, and the different stories had different writers. And that's what made that book so special, because it was beautiful. Now it's a comic book that gets $50 because of its nice cover.
And I'm not going to call any particular artist out because I do like a lot of new artists. But when you find out some of them use like 3D models, I'm like, that's kind of cheating.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I'm not saying that it's not talent, because I couldn't manipulate like that. So like we're saying, who am I? I'm just some dude on the YouTube channel that has less than 1,000 subscribers at this point, but like it's just like more of an aesthetic feel. Like okay, like I shared with you earlier before the show, I just picked this up. I probably shouldn't reveal this because you know I have a video coming out with it.
And it's your show. You do whatever you want.
That's painted. They don't really paint like there's a few of them do. I think Lucio Perello, I think he does, but like it's kind of a different thing, you know.
Right.
But I told you like a couple of days ago, you're asking, like, do I got to bring anything? And I said, well, you should bring some books to like kind of explain your collecting like journey. Like, I mean, what you like to collect. So if you want to show them, you can.
Well, okay. So what I pulled out is not a lot what I'm collecting. It's what I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now I'm collecting. I collect a lot new because it's cheaper. If I collect older, it's more to have and to preserve and to add to my PC.
Yeah.
So I just brought. I mean, I only picked out 4 things. I only did.
That's fine. You didn't have to do that, but
because I mean, but I mean, again,
your taste, you know, just
to explain a little bit. So I picked up. This is the first book I picked up. Okay, and then. So to show that at the time I went with the mainstream. I met because that's what they had when I went to Walden Books and they had the spinner rack. That's what they had in the mainstream, right? So they had the Batmans, the Supermans, you know, whatever the mainstream at 1987 was. And after that, I picked up stuff that because of the cover, because I thought the cover was beautiful. Okay, so that's why I picked up this one. So this is the Batman 227. which is an homage to a detective book. And what I like, I think this cover's beautiful. Matter of fact, I got a signed copy, a poster from Neil Adams in my bathroom. So every time I'm on the can, I just look at it. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Anyways, and to a point where when other I know Joker did, when the Joker DC put out a joke book, they made a couple of variants to homage this, and I have those. Okay, I think one is actually signed. So whenever I see a comic book that comes up with an homage to this, I'll pick it up because I really appreciate this cover.
Yeah.
You know, and to show that once I started picking up, once I was starting to, you know, get into it more, I fell back into the supernatural stuff, the magic stuff. So that's when I end up picking up this one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not signed or anything, but and I mean, it's not a killer copy. It's not a 9 point whatever, a 9.4. It's not that, right? But I picked this up because I thought it was beautiful, and I mean, to me, the colors still pop. It really does.
They do, and like it doesn't. It's got a great. It still looks great on the cover, and like I don't go for extremely high grade. I get what I can get. You know what I mean? Like you don't chase the grade.
Right.
You just chase the book you want. You know, and like as long as it looks good to you.
Right. Exactly. And so, and for me, I mean, I have 3 boxes there. Boom, boom, and boom, and they're all slabs, and a lot of them are 7s, a lot of them are 4s or whatever, because to me it's not. I'm not looking for a 9.8, and I'm not like you know, getting all sweaty and breathing heavy over a 9.8 if I can get it right. I'm not doing that as long as I can get it. You know, like it's a 9.7, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's the first one, and you know, a Columbine, whatever, Infantio, whatever. You know, he did this, right? Look at the guy looks like he's in old pajamas, and because it was a suit at the time, right?
You know, it's interesting back then, like how many characters had collars like that. Like,
no, look at this past his head. I mean, look at that thing. Nobody had you couldn't walk in. You couldn't walk in a door with those things. You had to go in sideways into a door with those things.
Like that too. Remember, Ghost Rider and Morbius kind of had like a collar thing, like that, and Power Man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so he was a unique character that nobody really. Oh, nice book. Good idea to buy that book. Yeah, I thought so too.
Kelly said, "Yeah, he said Elvis was jealous of that collar that we were saying earlier." That's right.
Elvis has nothing on that collar. I'm telling you, that thing is that. You know how much starch is in that collar to make that thing popped up like that. But yeah. So you know, I don't like. I mean, I enjoy Batman. I love Superman. So that's why the absolute stuff is a little different, and I like that stuff. And other than Batman, some of the stuff on Batman's kind of like I can't understand, but it's still a good read. But he's a he's a unique person, a unique character. Doesn't fit the mold correctly, kind of like me. I kind of go against the grain. So he did. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why I like it so much.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you know, that's cool. Like, I mean, that's, I kind of did it. Like, the reason it's G.I. Joe for me, like you were talking about earlier, you know, going into the barbershop. And, these books there. Well, my dad would bring me books back from when he'd go on training maneuvers with the National Guard, because he was in a Vietnam veteran. Then he joined the National Guard after he got out of the Marine Corps, and he would go to the PX, and he would bring me back Sergeant Rock and G.I. Joe and Star Wars books from the Bronze Age and the Copper, and so I kind of gravitated to G.I. Joe. Was like the one I latched on to because, well, they had quite a popular toy line when I was a kid, so you're like, oh, I'm going to see the toys have stories with these guys that I play with their action figures. So, we got John said. There's no mold for Tony, just mold on Tony.
Yeah, that's absolutely there's mold on Tony.
But I don't know. I mean, I appreciate. That's why I started the show, was just to. I wanted to get to know a lot of people a little bit better, and what they like to collect. And I don't know. It's just something I do. So to piggyback off that, what are some books? You don't have to show or anything. Just you can name, like I know we said the Absolute Titles. What are some other books you read? Any indie books or?
Well, I've latched on to that to the onto Image a lot, and I do the GI Joe there. I do the Transformers there. I've latched on to the stuff like I'm not doing that one though. Yeah, GI Joe, not that cover though. But and the Voids, I didn't hop on soon enough for that. But I'm doing a lot of the. Keep going. Don't stop now.
Well, I got the old GI Joe too, but like I got the.
Yeah, see, I picked up that one.
I got that one too.
I didn't get that one.
I don't know. That one's kind of nightmare feel. I kind of see that one in my nightmares.
That one you should make sure you don't get any nicks and ticks on that one, because that's getting a little pricey. That one.
I know. I've got it out here. I got to get it. I don't know about you, but I'm running out of room. I don't have enough boxes, so now I got a bunch stacked up here. I got to move them.
Yeah, I'm starting to now. I'm starting to now purchase small boxes, because I don't tend to pick up. I'm usually a big box kind of guy, and I've been picking up some short boxes, and I've been taking like old series, like my old the original Wolverine stuff I have, so I kind of push that in the box. I just did Wolverine. So if you look behind, right there. So I'm pulling like series from volume 1 series that I have, and I'm kind of transferring them into short boxes. So in my long boxes that are over here, I actually have to stand on a step stool to get up there, so I can make room there. I just took out all my not the X-Men, the Jim Lee X-Men's. I took all those and I threw them into that box right there. So I only have this space, this little corner here, and I'm trying to do the best I can with it. So short box. I've always done a long box. Always have. I'm missing Mars. I've always done a long box. I used to pile them up, and then I do a long box, and I would because all the space, I would shove whatever I could in the space to keep them up. That's what she said. But anyways, and then I would fill that box, right? Actually, I'm going to do this again. You see what I did there? All right, on the bottom, I got wood, right? And then I put a box. And then I got some boarding in between this first and second to spread out the weight. And the second and third to spread out the weight. And so on and so on. That's what I've done. That's the most I did with shelving. I don't know.
Well, I got mine just like sitting over here, but like I have them real close. I don't have that many boxes yet. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boxes over here. Short boxes, but I have like a little rack. But I don't know. I don't like this rack. I'm gonna have to get like a shelf like that. I want like the boxes where they slide out like that. You pull the box.
Yeah.
out.
Okay. So you could. There is a company called drawboxes.com where it gives you. It'll give you the box and the house for it, right? It's so you can get them, and there are holes on the side, and you can snap them together so they all stick together nice and neat. Those are a little expensive, or you can buy just the house, right? And the house will fit whether it's a short box. You can buy a house for a short box, so it's the sleeve. So if you see down here, I mean, a lot of these boxes are old. So you see, I have the boxes with the little rectangle.
Yeah.
Those are the houses. Those are the draw. So they say a drawer box on them, and that's all together. They work well. Don't get me wrong, but they're a little shorter than the long boxes.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, I buy long boxes, but later on, where you see just the box, I just buy the sleeves. BCW has them, and you can put any box in there. So they have it for the short box and the long box.
Okay.
And I'm just screwing this up like totally massive. Anyways, so if you want to do that, you can do that too. Just buy the house for it, and you slip your short box in there or your long box, depending on what side you buy.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I know BCW has them. So you buy a box, and then there's other piece that goes in that to give a little more sturdiness to it. Because I mean, I have a lot of weight on the bottom row. I have a ton of weight on there if you really think about it. And the way I have it, it's holding up. The box, you can tell when you pull the box, there's a lot of pressure on it. But it's holding up that weight. So I mean, it works. So, and I've gone 1, 2, 3. I've gone 5 up, only because I don't have the ceiling clearance for a 6. If I could do a 6th, I would do a 6th.
I had to take my sweatshirt off. It's getting a little hot.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, come on. You should have done that. We could have made some money.
Oh yeah. Well, I have an OnlyFans page, but they pay me to keep my clothes on, Tony.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of getting the only one, and do just my feet. I think.
I was joking with somebody about that today. I said, I don't know. I don't know if they want to see my feet, but I don't know. So you collecting anything else, like toys or anything, or?
I have a few toys, but I don't have a lot of room for it. Because I don't have the shelf. I don't have the room for shelving or stuff like that. I mean, because right now I'm in the basement. Okay. And what you see is what I have. So that wall where I have this wall here, where I have the artwork going on.
Yeah.
That's basically all the room I have. So that's what I'm trying to. It's going to get to a point where I have to sell stuff.
I'm at the point now with these collectibles. I don't know. I got like a cabinet, and there's already filled up. I'm already about to get another one. You got W. Boggs asking a question in the chat. He says, "Do you collect any female characters?"
No, I just characters or in comic books, a statue. No.
Comics.
In comics, yeah. Not as much anymore. Sorry, John, but I don't collect Storm anymore. I had to cut stuff off because I didn't have enough room. I didn't have enough budget for everybody. But I did collect a lot of Storm, Poison Ivy, which John loves. I'm usually collecting it for the cover. Wonder Woman, again, John loves. I'm collecting for so women, for the most part, is covers. I think if I see a cover that's beautifully done with the character, I'll pick it up.
Well, I'm a big fan of the pinup girl, the good girl art kind of thing, like Dave Stevens.
Oh, Dave Stevens, yeah, of course.
Adam Hughes, some J. Scott Campbell, but I kind of got burned out on him. But like, you can't get burned out on Dave Stevens. It's just classic.
No, with Campbell, a lot of his girls just look alike. I mean, he's just basically, for the most part, drawing his wife, girlfriend, whatever it is, right? He's just drawing the same person over and over again.
He does have some good art, though. I mean,
I'm not knocking him. Fuck, I'm not. Yeah, who am I to knock him?
I'm not either. But
the Dave Stevens stuff, I'll pick up. Adam Hughes, I'll pick up. Not as much, though. I think his stuff is beautiful. But I think it's, and I missed out on a bunch of stuff. There's also Arthur Adams, who does a lot of the stuff with the girls that I missed out on, which went up in price and stuff like that. Hey, if I didn't pick it up, I can't bitch about it, right? So what are you gonna do? But if I can find a Dave Stevens stuff, I'll pick it up.
On top of this in the chat, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask Tony. As long as it's nothing too personal or anything like that, I don't know.
Well, you can ask me personal. I'll tell you if I'll answer. I can tell you bang off. Either one. I don't know. I don't care. Just ask me anything.
Well, at least keep in mind.
You can ask me anything. Anything. If you don't know me by now, you can ask me anything.
It's all good. It's it's always interesting to me to like hear how people, collect things or how they, okay, we got a Missy Mars asking your favorite character.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, to say that Deadman is my only favorite character, that's like kicking it too many times. Okay, so you can have favorite characters, right? So and to be honest with you, I don't know. You know why? Even Deadman, I like them all the same. That's why for me, I don't feel like I feel a niche like a lot of people on YouTube where they gravitate to one character. I like them all the same. And if that makes sense. I don't know if it does. And it's not a cop-out. I'm not copping out at all. I'm being honest with you. There's not one character. If I saw them on the shelf, I like fall over myself to get them.
Oh, I know what you mean. Like, there's so many characters I love for different reasons. Like,
exactly.
I like G.I. Joe. It was just it brings up a lot of memories of nostalgia, and I like military stuff. But I also love Wolverine,
right?
And the X-Men. So I can go kind of all over the gamut. Like we're talking, I like the spooky stuff, but I can't just read that. It'd be like just eating cheeseburgers all the time. You got to have something else to eat. We got to have a chicken sandwich every now and then, or as they call it in Australia, a chicken burger. See what I did there, man, Spidey?
Not everything's a goddamn burger. I'm sorry. Everything's a goddamn burger.
But so I don't want to be tied down to one. Do I mainly collect, like the runs I mainly collect are like Captain America, Wolverine, X-Men, and G.I. Joe. But I collect a lot of other things too. So Spider-Man, I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's one of my favorite characters.
Mrs. Mars, thank you very much. You make me feel good because making me feel I'm not by myself. If you're collecting comics and you're getting just plastered, no matter what if it's Marvel, DC, Image, other independents, you're just getting slammed with so many books. Mm-hmm. You can't just find. It's not like it was, I don't know, in the 80s, right? In the 80s, you had 4 titles of the same person, same character. So, you had multiple titles, same person, and or you had another title with that person in it. Now you have total, independents, multiple independent companies who are writing wonderful stuff.
Yeah, that's like counting Kickstarters. There are all these Kickstarters too.
Right, they're writing wonderful stuff, and you need to read. And if you do that, then now you're pulling away from that one character on the major 2. You know what I'm saying? So years ago it was just a major 2, and you had independents. A lot of the independents were black and white. Nobody gave a flying fire truck about the independents unless you were in college or whatever. And then, or it was like, like there was some kind of sexual aspect to it or something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what the independents were. Independents were, you had the major 2 that handcuffs you and what you wanted to do. So you were an independent to be free, whatever you want to do, whether it was an adult, whether it was a lot of times or an adult, or was something that was a subject that people didn't like or were afraid to look at. And now independents are heavy. They're everywhere. And the subject matter is everywhere. And you're reading them. You brought up the cover with Lost in Space, right? That's a title nobody knows of.
Right? I know.
Nobody knows that manufacturer of that book. That's what independents were. And now I don't know. now independents are in your face all the time, and to say that you just like I like two characters, you can't say that. If you're a real comic book reader, you can't say you just like two characters.
Well, yeah, and it's like back in the day. I remember like if you wanted to collect the Crow or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you're shit out of luck a lot of times unless you had like a pretty good comic shop in your area, a major metropolitan area.
Yeah, your print run was low.
Yeah, and same thing with the Tick. Wasn't that in Massachusetts? It was printed. I think
Kitchen Sink Comics in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
same one that does Yon Man, which I love Yon Man. If you don't know that, do your homework. I'm not saying anymore. Just do your homework.
I'm more familiar with Ragman, though. You don't remember Ragman?
Which one?
You get Ragman?
Ragman, yeah, but that Ragman. Say, okay, hold on. That's two different things. You do not know Yon Man, do you?
No, I don't.
I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. We're going to get a lesson here. I think I've heard something about it, but I don't.
No, you didn't. Nobody's really heard about Yon Man. Hold on. That's right. I had it slapped. Hold on. There you go. Right. Okay, this is only a 9.5 because it got damaged, but this is no story. Okay. Yon Man. Who in the chat remembers me doing Yon Man?
The chat, if you know what he's talking about.
Yon Man. This is the book right here. This is the book. So a few years ago, 2, 3, 5, maybe 7. Okay, so we were saying that I brought up the idea that any book can be a money book. Any book. It was all about the bullshit that people. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I say bullshit? I'm sorry. Okay, so it was all about hype. Totally about hype. I had to figure out I'm ridiculous. It's all about hype. Every book that you want to buy, every book that's on a sense that is on Cover Price, Comic Tom, any book that because you have to buy is all about hype. All books the same. It's all about hype. So I said, okay, we need to. Well, this is what we need to do. Everybody needs to buy a Yon Man. It's a Yon Man. It was like $1. You go to eBay, it was $1 at the time. So you need to buy a Yon Man. I had Yon Man being bought for $20. I'm not saying me. We, the community, had people buying Yon Man for $20. People were buying it for $1 and turning it over for $20. Even Comic Tom had it on the show.
Oh, yeah. See, that's why I think I heard of it. Was just Comic Tom,
right?
But I didn't know anything else about it.
Just to prove that Yon Man, which was made by the same company that did the what's his name that you brought up,
the Tick. The Tick.
Could be any, could be something. I mean, I got the Yon Man originally. I got it at my 50th birthday. Some guy gave it to me as a joke, and I took that. I said, so I went. I picked up Yon Man and said, we're gonna make this something. And people actually went crazy. People, I'm not gonna say went crazy, but people were actually buying and selling Yon Man, and people didn't know, and they didn't even know why they were doing it. And that's that to prove that any book can be something. Any book can be something.
Well, this happened last week, but I think it was more manipulation. There was a book called Assorted Crisis Events #1. Mm-hmm. And because Scott Snyder had mentioned something about the book that he enjoyed it, somebody sold one for $290 on eBay. So, like, you never know what's going to happen. Now, I think I was joking with somebody. I said, are we sure somebody wasn't doing a money laundering operation?
Honest. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love this community, but the comic community, they will jump on anything if somebody says something, or if it's shown up in a picture or something.
Okay, yeah, like Robert Downey Jr. I'm sure he probably had his publicist or his assistant go to a comic shop and find a cover with Doom on it. So they found that West Coast Avengers, which was, I mean, it was in dollar bins.
Yeah.
Then. And then now everybody's like trying to sell it for $25, $30. Like, I'm rich. But that's kind of the beauty too of comics, though. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what's going to pop up. You never know what's going to like or like there could be a character turn into a great movie, like, you know, or something, or a TV show. So
how about when Superman died and everybody took their IRAs and they just friggin' bought as many copies of Superman's death on it, thinking that they would make a fortune.
But you know, as old comic book fans, we already knew like they're going to bring him back. There's no way they're going to kill her.
Nobody ever dies forever.
The only person I know that stayed dead was Captain Marvel, and maybe
I was going to say that.
Captain Stacy. Yeah, Captain Stacy.
But actually, that doesn't mean 2 years from now, for some reason, they bring him back.
That's true, and they have brought it back in little stories here and there. But like, yeah. So you never know. But
you never know.
And like nowadays, they kind of play it up, and then they're not going to do anything. Like there was, I think, a couple of years ago, the death of Miss Marvel, the new Miss Marvel, you know, Kamala Khan, and they're like, she was. They brought her back a month later, so it was like, see, it's going to be like the boy that cried wolf now, because there's like, no, you're not going to bring him back. You're going to bring him back.
Red Hood.
Yeah, Jason Todd stayed dead for a long time.
No shit. I mean, and to the point where they made another comic saying that, hey, he lived in that one.
Yeah. And they've done that in G.I. Joe comics.
Wait a minute. Can you go to aggressively relaxing so I can see this better? So hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, honest.
I agree. I think it's fun when a character that not everybody knows about kind of gets put in the mainstream.
Nobody. I'm sorry. Anybody I met on this community at the time never heard of this one character. He's basically the Thing made out of yarn. Basically, what it was. And because so to make that character be able to prove the point that people even, I mean, I'm not looking at somebody make for $200 on it, but somebody selling it for $20. Come on, for that? What the hell? Only because people hyped it up and said something about it. I mean, it's like,
yeah. Well, it kind of is cool though, because maybe some comics that haven't gotten a lot of love get a little love, you know. So sometimes it's good. Yeah.
So this is what you need to do. You need to find one book that nobody gives a flying fire truck about, that you can pick up in a dollar bin, and you need to get a few people to hype it up. And you need to do another Yarn Man. You need to do another Yarn Man.
Get a Yarn Man going. We'll get I don't know, maybe everybody knows this one, but we'll get Captain Stern. It's Bernie Wrightson.
Do it. Especially with a big belly button, belly button there.
I don't know. This book has some money too. I got this from Lady Fantastic. You know.
Okay, so that's not his belly button. Just let you know that's an actual.
Now he was a character in. You remember the movie Heavy Metal?
Yeah. So you need to make that book something.
Let's do
That's
it.
what you need to do. People need to hype it up.
We'll try.
Do it. Why not? Continue the experiment. Just keep it going.
We joked about that before. To be like, because what they do is basically people go into Whatnot streams and go, "You got such and such book," and they'll do it in every Whatnot stream, and then they'll have people buy, like, I guess on eBay or something. But Missy Mark wants to know who's going to be the next Yarn Man.
Exactly. Do it. So when we did that, we didn't Whatnot. What is it? Whatnot?
Yeah.
Didn't exist then. So that's the Whatnot. That is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I hopped on, and that's like friggin' like cocaine. You lose so much money on that. It's not even funny. So I stopped using it. But we didn't have that when we did this. That's how long ago this was. Okay, we didn't have that. We just had word of mouth and people just hyping it up and buying it.
Cooler.
Yeah.
I missed the question earlier, but it's a good question. So we're going to go back over it. There's a few comments ago. What's your favorite comic book era?
Silver.
That's a good one. I like that. The Silver Age Captain America is like one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Silver. I love silver. I love silver. A lot of times I can't afford silver.
well, maybe we could create a character, Tony. Here's you got Too Much Coffee Man. We could have Too Much Coffee Man. I actually have a good idea.
Actually, I drink a lot of friggin' coffee.
I have a good idea for an indie comic that I probably shouldn't say it here because somebody will steal it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Me and my friend Jeff were talking about because he kind of draws. He's kind of getting into drawing again like he did when he was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I could write it and we could have a book because I'm from Kentucky. I live in the southeastern Kentucky in the Appalachian Mountains. So you have a guy that's a moonshiner, right? He's a bootlegger. So he's still up in the mountains, but little does he know there's a secret military base inside the mountain. And they're working on a super soldier serum. And they have an accident and it leaks out into the soil and gets into his moonshine. So every time he drinks from the moonshine, he gets a superpower. And
A different superpower?
Yeah. Like you could have like maybe like it's got one that's more like a cool like icy flavor. You can shoot out ice, or maybe it's a hotter flavor like Fireball. You can shoot Fireball. And he's got a trusty hunting dog with him, and they fight people like Bigfoot or like some kind of kaiju or something.
Okay, it's a great idea because I like the idea that it's a different superpower. But can I have an extra question? How does soil get into his shine?
I don't know. I haven't worked that out yet.
Okay, you need to do it in the water, and because he uses the water for his shine. Because I did see the soil go into his shine.
That's true because like it could be like it got into the creek because they use creek water,
right?
And river water to go into the
You know, so, you can make it up that he pools the water, and he uses that water to his shine, and it could be a small creek that he takes it from, so that the water from the dam doesn't flow down further. Because if you flow down further, other people will have that ability. So you need a small creek to fill a dammed area, and he takes that water and puts into a still.
Yeah, he could have dammed the water himself, the creek himself to like get the water.
Right. So it has to be a small creek because if you're going to have to make the story that down further people have issues or have to also develop. Ooh, if the creek goes down further, then those are your bad guys to fight.
We got it. We've already.
There you go. I want kudos. I want something in the freaking time.
I'll give you credit for that. That's a
good idea.
But I really appreciate you coming on the show tonight, Tony.
Me too. Thank you.
And I know you're probably a busy man. I know it's sometimes where I'm disabled, I don't really have a job. I forget when I ask people, to make a commitment to the show. Like, well, maybe they can't do it, but
Well, yeah, that's why I said, can we do it further on because it's scheduling, and I appreciate. I'm the first one. Thank you very much.
First one of the year.
Yeah.
So
and believe me, I was like all the time. I'm always kind of like scared when I do these one-on-ones because I know I'm not on the norm. I know that. So I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, if there's no more questions, I'll tell everybody what I got going on, and we'll let Tony go so he can get on with the rest of his evening. But tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we do movie reviews on this channel too, and we're going to for good cinema. We have bad cinema. We did that last night, but tomorrow is the palate cleanser, if you will. We do good cinema, and we got a good one, Tony. Training Day.
Training Days. Oh, that's a good one.
Ethan Hawke. And I can't wait. It's a good cop thriller. Can't wait to watch it. I think my friend Big Jeff will be there, and the comic verse. Tony, I say commie. May sound like he's a communist, but that's not what I meant. And then we got the Comic Lounge at it'll probably be at 9 p.m. I've been thinking about moving it to 9 because I don't know. Everybody's already not really doing it at 7, but there you go. And then the Sunday show where I do comic book day previews. And I have a unboxing video coming up tomorrow for some of my action figure toys I ordered from Hasbro Pulse. So check out I got the Wolverine. We're going to unbox the Wolverine World War II Logan, and I'll show you all the accessories that come along with it. But Tony, you got anything coming up you want to talk about?
Every third. Okay, so Thursdays I do the train wreck. I mean, if you don't know about the train wreck, where the hell are you? So I do a train wreck. I'm moving it from 7 to 7:30. So make sure you get check your box on that, and you have to watch the train wreck. So the train wreck is basically a short part of it. I show what I pick up for the week, and then after that, the total hangout. And if you want to sip with me, because I'm always sipping, what are you doing? Doesn't matter what you sip, water to whiskey, I don't care. Sit and talk. We'll have a great time. There is no subject matter. It's whatever you guys want to talk about at the time. It doesn't have to be comics. It could be anything you want to talk about. And then on Sundays on John's Comic with Friends, we do D&D at 9:00. I know none of you guys probably going to show up there, but show up, because guess what? I don't know how to play the game. I've been playing the game for like years, and I still haven't catched on how to freaking roll a dice. Hop on there too. It's a good time. Yeah. So thanks for watching me. Thank you. Thank Matt. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.
Anytime. You're welcome back anytime. And in fact, you can come on my shows. I'm gonna try to be on the train wreck this week because I've changed my schedule. So
are you gonna be sipping water?
Maybe I'll get something. We might get something stronger. We'll see.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And like old Uncle Stan always used to say, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snoochie boochies.